показ работ эпики.
Okay, hello. So, before I start the main presentation, which is media innovation, I have just a short introductory presentation to make.
Перед тем, как я сделаю презентацию по Media Innovations, я бы хотел представить вам еще одну маленькую презентацию.
And this is because when we were judging the ads yesterday, I thought that the television commercials were much, much better than the print ads.
Потому что вчера, когда я судил работы конкурсантов, я подумал, что TV ads, то есть реклама по телевидению, намного лучше была сделана, чем реклама постеров.
So I happened to have this little presentation with me, and I thought that maybe we could learn something from it.
Я подумал, у меня как раз была эта презентация в моем компьютере, и я бы хотел сейчас ее вам представить.
So I called it the Apollo 11 Massacre, and it's not an original idea. I got it from a guy in Oslo called Roger Peel, so I thank him for it.
Презентация называется «Аполлон 11. Убийство». И идея моего друга Роджера Пила из Осло.
So, it's the summer of 1969. Apollo 11 has landed on the moon, and DDB Needham is presenting an ad to the senior management of Volkswagen.
Итак, это лето 1969 года. Аполлон 11 только что приземлился на Луну, и рекламное агентство DDB Needham должна представить рекламу Volkswagen.
You are the agency.
Вы будете агентством.
I'm the marketing director.
Я буду маркетинговым директором.
And we'll see what some of the other people at Volkswagen have to say on the screen. Don't worry. So I'm the marketing director. Okay, guys, show us your stuff. I don't think we need any strategic introduction. You know, we're all professionals here.
Итак, друзья, представьте вашу работу. Я думаю, не надо никакого предварительного презентации, просто мы все, конечно же, профессионалы.
It's ugly, but it gets you there.
Это уродливо, но оно доставит вас по нужному назначению.
That is fantastic. Great work, guys. What a brilliant ad. Marvelous. Bravo. Congratulations. You've done a great job. Everybody claps. Now, does anybody have any comments on this great ad? And then the marketing manager.
И теперь маркетинг-менеджер говорит: я согласен, это действительно очень классно, но не помешало бы, чтобы была картинка машины, и так, чтобы люди видели.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Has anybody else got anything to say?
Еще кто-то может что-то сказать? И хорошо было бы, если бы слоган, если бы это предложение, оно слишком размычено для меня. Хорошо было бы, если бы еще мы добавили за меньшую сумму. За меньшую.
That's a good idea. You guys can do that. I don't think that will spoil the ad very much. So, the next day, the agency comes back.
Следующий день.
It's ugly, but it gets you there for less dollars, and we can see the car.
Это уродливо, но она доставит вас за меньшую сумму денег.
Fantastic, guys. Wonderful job. That's brilliant. That really works. Ha, you're so good. This ad is brilliant. Does anybody else have anything to say? Any comments before we sign off on this great ad? Product manager.
Product manager говорит: идея потрясающая, и мы, наверное, должны за нее ухватиться. Но почему бы не употребить, не воспользоваться более сильными фактами про машину? Ей не нужна водыш, и она не будет замерзать во время зимы. Она удобная, ее легко припарковать. И когда речь заходит о бензине, вы можете проехать в 2 раза дольше, чем обыкновенная американская машина. И, кстати, я не думаю, что это нарушит основную идею, если мы добавим за меньшую сумму денег в цифрах.
Yeah, those good comments, good comments. If you guys can handle that, I'm sure we'll pay for the extra color if we want to put some yellow in or something. So, third meeting.
Третья встреча.
Brilliant. Really nice work, guys. Well done. Thanks for coming back. I think we're really getting there now. Now, before we sign off on this ad, does anybody else have any comments on this great ad? Market Research Manager.
Market Research Manager говорит: мне очень нравится эта идея. Мое только одно замечание – это то, что исследование говорит, что люди во время просмотра рекламы увеличат внимание и увлеченность. Так почему бы нам и не представить эту машину как семейную машину для родителей и 2 детей? И, например, для собаки, для счастливой семьи.
Those are good comments. Those are good comments. Does anybody else have any comments on this great ad? Fourth meeting. Wow, good work, guys. Good work. Yeah, it works. It works. Comments? Sales director.
Директор по продажам говорит: эта реклама очень хороша, и я думаю, что местные дистрибьюторы должны тоже в этом принимать участие. В конечном итоге мы им будем давать машины для продажи, и люди должны знать, где покупать.
Fair comment. Good comment. Anybody else? Production manager.
Production manager говорит: без вопросов, мне очень нравится эта реклама. Но мне кажется, что та реклама, которая есть, картинка, которая есть наверху, она немного крадет внимание от машины. Мы все-таки VW или не NASA.
Final meeting. No, not the final. 5th meeting. It's ugly, but it gets you there for lots of less dollars. And marketing director, nice work, guys. Nice work. So I think we're almost there. Anybody else has any comments before we sign off on this great ad? Brand manager.
Бренд-менеджер говорит: это потрясающая реклама. Но быть честным, мне не кажется, что картинка, которая наверху, вообще тут нужна.
Market Research Manager.
Marketing Research Manager говорит: я согласен. И я также думаю, что у нас даже был бы бонус, если бы мы употребили немножечко меньше headline, потому что, сказать честно, я не думаю, что это хорошая рекламная кампания говорит, что мы продаем плохой продукт. Это негативно будет. Это будет негативно.
Final meeting.
Оно доставит вас за меньшую сумму денег.
And the marketing director says, wow, that's terrific. Fantastic job, boys. Now, I think we all deserve a good lunch.
Маркетинг-директор говорит: супер, вы классно потрудились, ребята. Теперь мы, наверное, заслужили хороший обед.
So, we've gone from here to here.
У нас была сначала эта задумка, теперь у нас другая.
And the client is delighted.
И клиент очень рад, очень доволен.
You are the agency.
Вы агентство.
How did you let this happen?
Как это все произошло?
No. This happened right at the beginning. This happened right at the beginning when the marketing director said, we don't need any strategic introductions. We are all professionals here. Come on, guys, show us your stuff. That was where the mistake was made.
Сама ошибка произошла тогда, когда маркетинг-директор сделал такое заявление, что все они профессионалы и не нужно никакого стратегического.
Because if you don't agree up front what the objectives of the advertising is, then the client is going to run all over you like this.
Потому что если вы сразу же не скажете, какие цели, какие задачи ставит перед собой реклама, ничего хорошего из этого не получится.
I would like to do a little demonstration that I saw at the Golden Drum to demonstrate the importance of having one single creative idea and not 10 different ideas like you have the ad on the right.
Я сейчас сделаю маленькую презентацию, которую я увидел на фестивале Golden Drum. Это будет о том, что как важно иметь только одну креативную идею, а не 10.
One idea. No problem. Two ideas. You were not supposed to catch it. Fortunately, none of these discussions actually took place, and DDB produced a classic ad for Volkswagen that we are still talking about today.
К счастью, ничего такого не было, и агентство представило классическую идею, которую мы сейчас можем наблюдать.
So that was my introductory presentation.
Это была моя вводная презентация.
We now go to the media innovation. And this is quite a long presentation. It would be probably, we can show more of it if we don't translate every ad.
Это достаточно длинная презентация, поэтому, мне кажется, это будет намного быстрее, если мы не будем переводить каждый слайд.
If you really don't understand, or if I think it needs a translation, I will ask my nervous translator to do it.
Если вы не знаете чего-нибудь, либо мистер Эндрю Роллинс посчитает нужным это перевести, я переведу.
So the presentation is called Media Innovation, and it shows advertising that uses the media in an original way, or that creates a new medium to carry the message. Maybe you should just translate that so people understand what the presentation is.
Презентация называется Media Innovations, инновации в медиа. Реклама, которая используется в медиа, это презентация тех идей, которые по оригинальному представляют разные идеи в рекламе и в
You'll
медиа.
see. So, I have divided the contents into 7 different parts, but I'll explain them when we come to them.
Я поделил свою презентацию на 7 частей.
The first part is the creative use of outdoor. And first of all, we look at unusual posters.
Первая часть называется «Креатив на улице». Мы будем смотреть на необычные постеры.
Don't worry now, if we need the thing. So the first one is from Frankfurt, and it's for Rowenta hair curlers. That's an original poster. The second one is also Rowenta, and it's called the wrinkled poster for steam irons. In English, if you have a bad headache, you say you have a splitting headache.
На английском языке, если у вас болит голова, вы говорите, что это раздвоение. Раскалывающее.
So you have this ad. Project Foundling, I think the headline says, "Do you think this picture is too much? Your donation deletes a square." And the picture was a picture of a dead baby that was discovered in a rubbish dump in Berlin. And Project Foundling was a project that gave a warm place where mothers could leave their babies if they wanted to abandon them. And the idea of the advertising is that in order to raise funds for this project, donations were made, and each time a donation was made, a little part of the picture was eliminated. That's why it says, do you think this picture is too much? Your donation deletes a square. Let's go to Oslo for SAS. You all know these maps of the city, and they have a little red dot that says you are here. This little red dot says you are not here, and it's a map of London in Oslo in the winter. This is a map of Paris. You are not here. And New York, you are not here. It's advertising for weekend breaks on the aeroplane. Thanks. The Samaritans is a charity for people who need support and for people who don't fit in. Hence, these two posters. So, need support, don't fit in.
Нужна поддержка и не помещается. Не помещается.
ID recruitment consultants is a little complicated, but the idea here is that they see through your CV, and hence you have posters that look as if they are transparent. This guy says that his hobbies is art, but you can see the kind of art that he likes. And this lady likes wine tasting, but perhaps she tastes too much wine. The interesting thing is the transparent poster site. Gothenburg's Post is a newspaper from Sweden, a similar idea, where you get the impression that the poster is three-dimensional. Do they have enough space? That's about battery farming. Are the patients sent home too early? Another one for Gothenburg's Post. They want to show how well they know the city of Gothenburg. So each poster site is unique. Hey, look, isn't that the flag of Japan hanging there?
Смотрите, это не флаг, это случайно не флаг Японии.
The street light needs changing.
Нужно ли поменять освещение уличное?
Really comfortable seats.
Очень удобные сиденья.
Karin Sjöberg had a flat tire here last autumn. I think you get the idea. All over the city, individual sites that commented on something that only locals could know about. Here's another one from Gothenburg's Post. But this is a campaign that they made when they changed the format. It used to be a big newspaper, and they made it a small newspaper.
Это рекламная кампания о газете. Она сначала была очень большой, теперь она стала намного меньше. Тут написано, газета очень большая. Это просто то, что сказал один из читателей. Газета очень большая, и ее трудно читать, если дует ветер.
Okay, so that was before, and when they changed the format, they changed the ads.
Они поменяли немного постер. Газета стала меньше, и теперь ее намного легче читать, когда дует ветер.
So that's the first example. Here is a second example where it says it's difficult to read the GP, the letters are too small, and they correct that. I want to read the sports pages in the toilet, please make it smaller. Now everybody can read the sports pages in the tube, etc. This one is slightly simpler. Our new big trucks have arrived.
Наши большие машины приехали.
The yellow pages from Copenhagen. Again, before and after. First, hey, call a paper hanger. Thank you.
Первое – это позовите, пожалуйста, человека, который вешает постеры. Спасибо.
Hey, call a painter. Thank you.
Позвоните, пожалуйста, человеку, который красит постеры. Спасибо.
Workman.
Позвоните, пожалуйста, рабочим. Спасибо.
Thanks. So that's for the yellow pages. Arag Insurance from Düsseldorf, where the posters are adapted to the specific locations where they're going to be. The first one is for legal aid insurance.
Здесь постеры полностью адаптированы к тому месту, где они повешены. Это о страховке, это реклама страховки.
This one is for liability insurance.
Это страховка жилья, надежность.
And fire insurance, household insurance.
Это страхование домов.
Something more simple. This is an international campaign to stop landmines, where the legs of each ad were torn off. They were torn off in the newspapers and on posters. And you might ask, how did the agency do that? There was no secret. They tore them off, each one.
Это была кампания против пехотных мин, для того, чтобы начинать убирать эти противопехотные мины. И как рекламисты это делали, они просто вырвали из газет.
One is for the Cancer Society of Finland. It's an anti-smoking campaign where the image itself is a three-dimensional image made up from cigarette ends.
Это кампания против курения, и она сделана в тридименsionальном виде из.
See, I think they can understand. Sorry? Inside the poster. So those are posters. The next group are ones where the poster site itself changes. Like, for example, this one for the Vampirotto vacuum cleaner, which has incredible suction power. Just read that.
Это реклама пылесоса и показывает невероятную силу пылесоса, всасывания.
This is a anti-drink drive campaign with speech bubbles coming down from the heaven. I was drunk when I hit her. Thank God I died as well. Out driving drunk, so was I. Stop drink driving, it's getting crowded up here. The guy that hit me was drunk and drove off. Now I visit him every night. There are two people that'll never forget me, my mum and the drunk guy that hit me. I think you get the ideas. If anybody really needs a translation, please put your hand up. We have a choice. We can either do it with translations, or we can show more ads without translations. Who needs translations? Oh, bright people. We don't need any translations. That's good. Another insurance company for road traffic. Every fatal traffic accident in Stockholm, every fourth fatal traffic accident is caused by alcohol. Cheers. Prudential Life from Ireland. I want to be prepared for the unexpected. I mean unexpected, but he didn't have time to finish it. This is a shaver for ladies, lady shaver. The hairy poster, lady shaver. This one might need a little explanation. It's for the Swedish Advertising Awards. So in fact, it's advertising for an exhibition of good advertising. And the first one says, advertising that attracts.
Реклама, которая привлекает.
Advertising that stands out.
Реклама, которая выделяет.
Advertising that turns everything upside down.
Реклама, которая поворачивает все с головы на ноги.
Advertising that infuriates.
Реклама, которая злит.
And advertising that captivates.
Реклама, которая захватывает.
This one does not need a translation. It's for a low-calorie diet soft drink. So the poster site is the convex mirror that makes the guy look thinner. The London Natural Health Clinic practices acupuncture, and you can find out where it is by looking at this map. Acupuncture therapy at the London Natural Health Clinic. Tefal cookware is non-stick. And the folk opera in Stockholm has some very good singers. The Renault Modus is a very strong car. And this is a campaign for the Düsseldorf Theater Premiere, where the posters were like a theater, were hidden behind curtains. Let's find out. The next group I've called the medium is the message, because the place where the advertising is shown is actually part of the message itself. The place where the advertising is shown is part of the message.
А место, где показана реклама, является частью самого послания.
The first group show conventional media, like the Discovery, Shark Week, advertised in the London Underground. Shark Week is back. Abershaw Decorators from Leeds. Need a decorator? And Canal Plus, Titanic on Canal Plus. Another campaign to stop landmines. It's a one-legged poster. Lufthansa is not a sponsor of the World Cup in Germany, but that hasn't stopped them. Oh, sorry, no, this is a different one. Madrid, 299. Again, the man on the exit sign is part of the ad. And this one that says, there are more beautiful corners of the world than this one. I don't know in Ukraine if you have these billboards that often go wrong, like this and like this, but not like this. If only everything in life was as reliable as a Volkswagen. Fiona Bennett hats from Berlin, beautiful hats. And another one from the Gothenburg Post, where the idea here is that you have to look at both sides of the poster in order to understand the full story. For example, the first one, see the other side, happy students, and one that has been ostracized.
Идея здесь это реклама в том плане, что нужно смотреть на две стороны постера.
Ping pong, but the people are handicapped. See the other side, a hospital picture, but in fact a very crowded hospital. Very simple one from Barcelona called Kiss on the Bus for Smint Mints, etc. And from Amsterdam, for the jazz festival, the public buses were redecorated like this. North Sea Jazz, take the bus. A fitness company. This is the Mercedes-Benz truck It comes with an automatic transmission. Oh, sorry, no, very strong trucks. And the ad says, fold her here. Normally that would be quite simple, but it's not so simple when the ad is printed on the edge of a telephone directory. Strong trucks. You can't fold it. Star Wars, Episode 3. They just... all they did was to take away the plexiglass that was in front, and they had 3 fluorescent tubes underneath. That's examples using conventional media. Here are some examples using new media. This one is rather difficult to explain, but the idea is that everyday objects like paving stones, bridges, junction boxes are treated and described as if they were modern art, contemporary modern art. And it's for a website where you can buy contemporary art. It's by Mother. The Oslo Piercing Studio is easier to understand. Here, wherever there is a ring or a hook or an object on the wall was a good place to stick a poster. A similar idea for the tennis Masters Championship in Madrid. Here the agency just looked for faults on the wall and stuck their poster around them. Double-handed backhand. First service. The Aquarius Men Fitness Center dressed up these Apollo-like creatures on the wall in Berlin. Sorry? Got it? Good. Qantas Airways flies to Australia. That's on the other side of the world. So they advertised on drain covers, the smarter way down under. One way to Sydney. Shortcut to Melbourne. This campaign also uses drain covers, but it's to sell a light mayonnaise that will make you very thin. She eats light mayonnaise. And Amnesty International in Germany also used drain covers for a human rights message. Wrong opinion. Wrong color. Wrong religion. Amnesty International. Here's another Amnesty International campaign from Paris, with posters in front and behind the bars. It's another ad for the fitness company. In this case, it appears as if the tree has been taken out of the ground and not the fitness company. This is a promotion in parking lots. You know, bad drivers often scratch their cars on the wall, so this is a good place to advertise body painting for automobiles. This company specializes in removing graffiti from walls, and their offices are right next to the Autobahn so they get a lot of traffic going past, and it just says exterior facade cleaning, graffiti removal with the phone number. Mercedes-Benz advertised on the back of their commercial vehicles. Maybe you can translate that one. As long as sausages cannot be sent by email, we will have to share the road.
До тех пор, пока сосиски не будут посылаться по имейлу, мы будем делить дорогу с вами. Конечно, я немного медленнее, чем вы, но я везу красное вино. Мы никогда не встретимся больше, если ты пообещаешь читать старые газеты и йогурты, и есть йогурты.
Bad yogurt.
Протухшие.
Mercedes-Benz introduced an automatic transmission for their commercial vehicles. Forget the clutch pedal. Leo the dog man is a guy who will take your dog out for a walk in Amsterdam if you're at work. And his dogs are very healthy, that's his logo. And he sticks his logo on any piece of urban furniture that a dog might have peed on, like this. The Dutch state lottery advertises underneath bridges. It says a lot of state lottery winners pass by here, and you see the luxury boats going past. The Battersea Dogs Home has to find homes for dogs that have been abandoned, so whenever they take the dogs out for a walk, they put these signs on them. I'm a pussycat. I will not chase the cat. And some of my best friends are postmen. And on the other side it says, good homes needed for good dogs. The vegetarian society, these are people who don't eat meat, advertise on cows. Vegetarian cookery courses. Ingredients, pesticides, E. coli, dioxins, saturated fats, antibiotics, worming agents. Help. Join the vegetarian society. This is another charity that encourages businessmen to spend more time at home with their children. It says, children don't just vanish. Be there early and it won't be too late. Of course, as the escalator goes up, the children disappear. The big issue is a newspaper that is sold by homeless people. And to promote it, they handed out these heat-sensitive postcards. And so with the touch of your hand, you could read the text gradually. And it says, just a reminder, there are over 500,000 people on the streets with very cold hands. Another operation from Germany for World Vision. This is another charity, and they advertise on these handheld rails. The text says, now you can grasp how thin the thigh of a starving child is.
Здесь написано, теперь вы можете почувствовать, насколько маленькая рука ребенка, который голодает.
This is a golf club from Scotland, and it's advertising for the local professional. It says, from here, I'd recommend an axe. It's advertising that is aimed at bad golfers. Obviously, if your ball is behind the tree, you're not a good golfer. It says, what is this? A nature ramble or a game of golf? Hello again. Did we mention our golf lessons? Come here often. So they're all strategically located messages to bad golfers to encourage them to take lessons. This is the French National Railways, and it's to make people aware of fraud. They are all trompe-l'œil. It says, if fraud didn't exist, this trolley would.
Если бы мошенничество не существовало, этих тележек также. Они были бы, простите.
Again, a bench that is not there. If fraud didn't exist, this bench would. A toilet that doesn't exist. If fraud didn't exist, this monitor would. And some more work from Paris for Amnesty International. It says, don't let anyone deprive human rights defenders of their freedom of speech. And the ads were put up wherever there was a brick wall behind it. K2R is a stain remover. If you get a little oil stain on your shirt, you can remove it. Campaign. Try K2R. Wherever there is a stain on the ground, it's a good place to advertise a stain remover. The next campaign is for the Gothenburg Film Festival, and what's important to know is that the 10th of January is the date when you can buy ticket. So wherever there is a 10 in the city of Gothenburg, it's a good place to remind people, 10th of January, ticket release. Any 10 is a candidate. A rather more simple idea from Norway, from Nicotinell, ready to quit, anti-smoking. Some more work from the Cancer Society of Finland. It snows a lot in Helsinki. If you smoke, this is what your lungs look like.
Если вы будете курить, вот так будут выглядеть ваши легкие.
Tobacco smoke does this to your lungs. Again, using the brick wall like Amnesty International, but this time for a toothpaste that gives you whiter teeth. And for the Berlitz Language School, the idea here was that the Berlitz Language School would put a translation on different objects around the city. This, for example, is a mailbox. This is a garbage can. A tree you also have how to pronounce it, tree. Petrol pump. Park bench. Menu, etc. Emergency telephone. A city map. It's a guerrilla campaign by the Berlitz Language School. This is another one from a golf club. In this particular case, near the Gleneagles Golf Club, there is this Ministry of Defense radar station that, from a distance, looks like a golf ball. And so the agency made a giant tee and stuck it up nearby, so you're only a short drive from the golf course. This is a charity to raise money for hungry children, and the idea is to advertise on shopping trolleys so that every time you put your coin into the trolley, you are feeding a child. The next group that I'd like to show are really ideas that are very big. And in this case, that the objective of the operation is not so much to reach an audience, but to get press coverage and to get public relations coverage. Like, for example, advertising on a spaceship. Obviously, there's not a big audience in space, but it created many articles in the newspaper. In Germany, while they were refurbishing the Brandenburg Gate, Deutsche Telekom sponsored the operation with these big covers on the gate that they used. In this case, the internet makes everything possible. The latest World Cup news on your mobile. Happy Easter. Five TV in London did a documentary about Michael Jackson and what happened to his face. Under construction. Michael Jackson's face. Another vacuum cleaner from Copenhagen, very powerful vacuum cleaner. And British Gas, cut your bills because things go wrong. I like this one from Amsterdam. It's for a beer. It says, you are here, but why? And there are so many places selling Amstel beer. Special men's sizes for big men. This is a monument in Brussels, and this is how the agency used it. Sell special sizes. G&G, special sizes for men. That introduces the next group of examples, which are installations. And one of my favorites is this campaign from Stockholm for Chevalier coffee. You see a subway car bursting through the pavement, and the only thing on it is the word Chevalier. But all the Swedes know that for years and years, that Chevalier is the coffee to serve when you have unexpected guests. Maybe we translate that, the coffee for unexpected guests.
Цель рекламы было показать слоган этой компании, что это кофе для неожиданных гостей.
Each installation, it's just the word Chevalier, and everybody knows an unexpected guest has arrived. Maryland cookies, UFO. But UFO in English normally means unidentified flying object. But in this case, it's an unbelievably fudgy object that are hitting London from out of space. Maryland cookie installations. The Scottish National Party promises crime-free society. Crime is rising under Labour. And as you can see, the wheels have been stolen from the truck. Centrale Bière is a famous insurance company. And this is a play on a famous installation that was in London that says, also sticks handles to teapots. But in this particular case, it's a fake brand, and the car falls off. So you better call the insurance company. Some more mobile posters from the Mitteldeutsche Zeitung. Did you read about that? Did you read about that? Rather like Gothenburg Post, they're showing that they know what's happening in the city. This is an operation to promote a conference against slavery. And they use the mannequin in shop windows. They put a price tag on each one with a barcode. A few drops of blood as well. From Sweden, this is an installation for free-range chickens. And the text on the cage says, we've stopped selling chick eggs from caged hens. Try standing in this cage with 7 people and you'll understand why.
Мы перестали продавать яйца от тех курей, которые являются, которые сидят в клетке. И попробуйте постоять среди 7 людей, и вы поймете, почему.
And that's what a lot of people did. Icelandic air flights to the USA, advertised outdoors. On the left-hand screen, they're showing the Woody Allen movie Manhattan. And on the right-hand side, they have a flight departure board with all their flights to the USA. From Bratislava, this is a radio station where you can play the songs by pushing buttons on the city light poster. I think we now have a couple of examples for plant food. Plant food is fertilizer for plants.
Это удобрение для растений.
And over a period of a few days, the poster literally grows out of the ground. This is another fertilizer for plants, but with a slightly different approach. Here the tree has actually grown up under the poster. Plant fertilizer. Arla milk. This one would take rather a lot of explanation, but the basic idea is that Swedish farmers are trying to protect themselves against competition from the other milk producers in the European Union. This one is rather more simple. It's for winter tires. Buy new winter tires with a crashed car. This is a similar idea for an insurance company. Johan will never attempt another stupid lane change.
Джон больше никогда даже не попытается переехать на другую полосу. Ларс Эрик никогда
overcome by road rage again. Mia won't be driving home from the nightclub anymore.
Мия больше не будет ехать из ночного клуба. Больше не будет ехать из ночного клуба.
So it's for anti-drink driving. Head and Shoulders shampoo removes dandruff. It can't fall here. And they did this by putting heating elements in the ground underneath the poster, so that when the snow fell, there was always clean ground underneath the poster. Volkswagen Polo from London, another installation, this time to promote the Volkswagen Polo's air conditioning. So they made a car out of ice and they parked it in London.
Это была реклама кондиционеров для машин. И они сделали эту машину из льда.
Obviously not many people saw the car, but a lot of newspapers saw it. That's a nice motor, a nice little motor, a nice car. Very often these installations are not designed to be seen by the public, but to generate press coverage for the idea.
В большей степени эти все инсталляции не для зрителей, а для того, чтобы привлечь внимание медиа.
This one is very simple for the economist. If you read the Economist, you become intelligent.
Если вы будете читать «Экономист», газету «Экономист», вы станете умнее.
A sensor underneath the light bulb that lights up when the man walks under it.
Там есть сенсор, на который, если человек наступает, зажигается лампочка.
This one needs a bit of explanation because when people die in England, very often their relatives will buy a special park bench to commemorate them. And usually on the park bench it says things like, my mother loved sitting here.
В Британии для людей, которые умерли, их родственники очень часто покупают лавочки и пишут на них, что это, например, посвящено моей матери, которая тут любила сидеть.
But this chair is a little different because it says Susan James loved sitting here, and she still does, thanks to research into cancer.
Сьюзан любила сидеть здесь, и она продолжает любить здесь сидеть, так благодаря исследованиям против рака.
This one doesn't need any explanation if you know what Lego is. They turned a construction site containers into Lego boxes. This final group, well, it's not the final group, but this next group is called stunt, like this, for body piercing. This is a guy who walks up and down Oxford Street advertising a body piercing and tattoo studio. This one is going to be difficult because the Durex advertising for years in England used hundreds of men dressed up like sperm.
Очень много лет рекламная кампания Дюрексов была составлена из мужчин, которые были одеты как сперматозоиды.
In this operation, the sperm got loose, and they went to picket the theater where they were showing the vagina monologues. Stop talking about it. Give us a look. Bonzo dog food. It says, bark if you like Bonzo. And all the dogs who saw this poster started to bark like crazy. Why? Because inside the poster there was an ultrasonic sound that only the dogs could hear, but nobody else, and it drove them crazy.
Внутри этого постера был ультразвуковый сигнал, возле которого, если собаки проходили, они начинали гавкать.
This is a promotion from Stockholm where they left lots of wallets lying around on the pavement. And if you picked up the wallet, it said, "Here you are."
Сказано, пожалуйста, если это ваш кошелек, вы знаете, что это означает потерять его за границей? Мы знаем. Travel insurance, страховка.
Thanks. 2 operations now for Sweet Doors. This is a company that makes doors for houses. And the poster says, "Peel it off and take it home."
Оторвите и несите домой.
And that's what people did. They peeled off the poster and they took it home to see what their house would look like with a new door. In another operation for the same company, these are 2 Swedish homes. And while the owners were at work, the agency gave them new doors, paper doors. So when the people came home, they discovered a new look for their house and a little card promising a special price on this door if they wanted to buy it. No explanation. This is the world's biggest toy shop, Hamleys. This is a travel agency in Switzerland whose advertising idea is vacations that make you forget everything. And these are some of the posters that they ran. But what's interesting here is this suitcase that just goes round and round and round on the conveyor belt. Vacations that make you forget everything, even your suitcase. Nordiska company department store. They took their models out onto the street. Fashion in the streets. And the Swedish Post Office, they took their services directly to people who were on vacation. You could buy a postcard and a stamp and post it at the same time. The color of the Dutch football team is orange. So Nike put a little swoosh on the orange traffic lights. A London charity. Lots of clothes hanging on the poster. And when the clothes are gone, now you know how desperate homeless people are to keep warm. A new store opening from Oslo for IKEA. Opens August 29. Get ready, throw out your old stuff, make room. And hitchhiker promotion. You're going along the road and you see this hitchhiker, but you really can't read what's written on the sign. It's too small. Then you come to another hitchhiker and it's the same problem. And then a third one and same problem. And finally, you come to this hitchhiker saying, Optica Bernard, for your eyes. This is Blendermed White Stripes, which is a 7-day whitening program for your teeth. And this is a Polish pedestrian crossing at the end of winter. The agency started by painting one end of the pedestrian crossing brilliant white. And it says, sponsored by Blendermed White Stripes. And then 7 days later, the whole pedestrian crossing was white. Another dog food. This one is slightly simple. It says, listen to your nose. And of course there is a tasty smell behind. Hypnosis from Belgium. And the Nordic Amateur Golf Tournament. Again, this is just a piece of plastic that is stretched over the back of the car. Viagra, I guess you know what that does. I certainly do. And you can't actually advertise Viagra in Switzerland, but if you say Pfizer and you have this little, the blue Pfizer cover, everybody knows what you're talking about. So when you go into the parking lot, you get the ticket, and when you go out of the parking lot, the gate goes up. More Gothenburg Post. Gothenburg is a funny city. In the daytime, it's beautiful. At the nighttime, guys are out getting drunk, peeing, etc. So what they did is that they took real pictures in the night and then they put them up at the same place in the daytime with the time. This was at 3:45. This picture was taken at 2:58. And each of them says, what's happening in the heart of Gothenburg? Let your voice be heard. United Airlines in London transformed a metro station into an airport check-in. So when people came to take their train home, they were given boarding passes. And they walked down the metro corridors that looked like the inside of an aeroplane. And on the walls, they had pictures of a flight from London over New York, past flying geese all the way to San Francisco. And with these free boarding cards, they could go online and win free tickets. Tokai is a slightly more simple example. It's a cigarette lighter on a hot air balloon. New technology, not much in this category. National Geographic had lenticular ads. So as you walk past the ad, the picture changes. And they used it for this famous cover and what the woman looked like 17 years later. A similar idea for the Big Brother TV show, where it appears as if the cameras follow you when you walk past. And the same idea on the side of this bus, where it looked as if the swans were actually flapping their wings. From Vienna, this newspaper was published with no images. And the idea was that you downloaded the images on your mobile phone, and that way you could have the latest pictures that were not ready when the newspaper was published. In magazines, we have a couple of examples. This is a nice one for the Mercedes-Benz convertible. As you flip through the pages of the magazine, you can see the roof come off. Raid insecticide, which kills, it says, put these glasses on and you'll see what Raid does to the insects in your house. You put on the glasses and they disappear. The Volkswagen Golf used the staples in the inside of the pages to talk about ABS brakes, and, steel wall protection, water-sensitive windshield wipers, and all the metal parts. I'm going a bit quick now because I think the time's up, but we've almost finished. This is the cover of a woman's magazine in Austria, showing Laetitia Cass, who is a L'Oreal model. And on the back page of the magazine, they hide. So in fact, the back is almost a mirror image of the front. Jameson Irish whiskey, advertised on sandpaper to show how smooth it was. And this is a scratch ad. for cleaning up. I'm going a bit quick because we're a bit late. Here the advertising for Eurocard always appears in the magazine just opposite the pages where they have new, expensive, nice, high-tech technology. And all it says on the ads is, are you tempted? Car Polish. This is a magazine that has a glossy cover, but matte pages inside. And so they use the glossy cover to show what the effect of the car polish is. And Persönlich is an advertising magazine that everybody steals. So if you open the front page and fold it back, you can change the cover from Persönlich to some boring subject like trains, woodworking, cats, etc. And that's the end of the presentation. It's 6:30. Thank you. And I thank my translator very much. She was nervous at the beginning, but she was very good. Let's hear it for the translator, both of them, please. Thank you. I hope so. Otherwise, there would have been no point to come. Of those, yeah. Oh, I'd love to. Yeah. What's up? Hello. One moment. This presentation. Yes. Send me an email to remind me, and we can send it. Because I think on the website that you can find it. I gave you my email. Yes. So just send me a message saying, Andrew, don't forget to